Can you hear me now? Better? Okay, there we go. Now we have audio. Hi, everybody. Joe said I have to be here, so here I am. Hi, Scarlett. And Sorcerer Stan, Zodium, Retro Techie, Frank S. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know. Thank you. Something is wrong. Now you can't hear you shouldn't be able to hear my noises and things because I had to change the microphone setup. I don't know what's changed since yesterday. Okay, whatever. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight, folks. Remember to like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. YouTube likes it when you hit the buttons. So tonight, I have a Diamond Trackstar that I want to mess with. And the reason I want to mess with it is because I'm reverse engineering it. But before you reverse engineer something, the very first thing that you need to do is learn how the thing works, or more specifically, ensure the thing you're reverse engineering actually functions. Because nothing's more frustrating than going to reverse engineer a product and realize the original doesn't function correctly, so you don't know how to do the thing. So that's what we're doing. I've never used one of these before. I've never messed with one, played with one, nothing. Nothing at all. So what I'm going to do tonight is I have it over here, and I have a machine in theory it'll work in. And we're going to plug it in and turn it on and see what happens. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So let's do some side cam action over here. Let's move some cameras, press some buttons. Ooh, do the thing, do the thing. That should be approximately correct. So if I were to press this button and go there, it's gonna work. Yay, it works. Great. So here is side cam. So we got that. I want to make sure that that's set up. And then we can also go to bench cam. Bench cam. Hello, bench cam. So here is the card. It's a Diamond Trackstar Plus. It's a long boy. I think it'll fit in this machine. I think it will. Yes. And basically, what a Diamond Trackstar does is it makes your IBM PC into an Apple II. And that's what this does. That's the thing that it do. It's the magic that occur. So that's what we're going to do. In addition, it also, like, all it does is uses the PC for its like input-output stuff, and that's it, right? So like this is the video cable that comes with it, and it passes through. So you plug that into your video output of your PC and plug it into here, and then like the video gets passed back out of this port, so that when it wants to take over the video, it can take over the video, and the PC is just sitting there doing whatever. This is a full Apple II on a card, effectively. Now, my long-term goal here is to reverse engineer this silly thing. Him before Retro Techie says, "I want to see the shipping cam." Haha! We'll give Retro Techie the shipping camera. Shipping camera! Woot woot! Back to where we were. So yeah. Yeah, so it emulates a full Apple II. Now, a very wonderful person by the name of, stand by, I need to get the name off the box. Very, very carefully while not doxing the person at the same time. Brandon Cobb. Brandon Cobb is the name of the person who sent me this. They have Brandon's got a website about the Trackstar. That I'm looking for. Diamond Trackstar. Discman.com. This is Brandon's website that has all the information about this. And he's like, I would absolutely love for Joe to be able to clone this thing. So one of my followers, I think it might have been Jonathan Adar, put me in contact with Brandon, and it's like, hey, Joe knows how to do the thing. So we're gonna learn how to do the thing. But first things first, we need to get this working. So basically, you need an old PC setup to make this work. You need something like a 5170, like I believe an XT or better is what works to make this work. I don't have anything quite that old, but I can't really do anything super new like a Pentium because I'm not sure it'll work in a Pentium machine because of PCI and timing and wackiness. But I'm told like an old 386 will work. And wouldn't you know it, right over here, we got Frankie. Frankie is my 386 machine that is the slowest, most garbagest piece of thing ever. But when you plug it in and turn it on, it runs and it does the job. So we're going to try it out on Frankie. So we're going to install this on Frankie. Then we're going to install the software that we need to do the thing in theory, I guess. It's Trackstar Plus. So the primary thing is I need to get the software for this on the machine and get it working. So that's a thing. I do want to read a little bit off of Brandon's website. Trackstar Plus is basically Trackstar E with added features, 128K of RAM, 6502, essentially a clone of the enhanced Apple IIe. So it's the best Apple IIe that you can get effectively. It does not support mouse text by default, requiring an updated EEPROM to add compatibility. That's not a problem. We can do that after the fact. Conveniently, this model's operating software can be run from a hard drive instead of requiring the original floppy disk, which is even better, which means it's got a greater compatibility with other people's stuff. Unlike the other Trackstar models, the Plus offers a special 2 MHz accelerator mode. Yay! While the Plus was specifically designed and marketed to work with IBM PS2 Model 25 and 30, it is a standard full-length ISA card compatible with average PCs. Again, great target for cloning because it'll just work, right? Biggest most exciting improvement over the previous Trackstar models is, in my opinion, Brandon's opinion, the introduction of Trackstar floppy disk images and ProDOS virtual hard drives. Yeah, baby. So the Trackstar Plus can copy physical floppy disks to image files stored on your PC to quickly and easily use your favorite programs without needing the original disks handy. Again, super fancy, which means that you could get one of these and get one of these machines here with your old PC or whatever, and like an external compact flash storage of some description, and run your images right there on the thingadoodle. So you don't need an actual disk 2 drive if you don't want a disk 2 drive. So that's cool. Trackstar Plus can optionally connect to the PC's 5.25-inch floppy drive in order to read and write Apple II floppy disks. However, it is also capable of interfacing with an authentic Apple II disk to floppy drive. The latter method is highly recommended as the standard PC drives offer limited support for Apple II disks. Yes, this is a known thing. The Plus outputs its video directly to your PC's VGA monitor. A custom cable intercepts. That is this right here. Custom cable intercepts your PC's video, which is then output by the Trackstar itself. And it's important to note that it is VGA, or DB15, HD15. I'm sorry. Then output by the Trackstar itself. The Apple II sound, meanwhile, is routed through your PC speaker, which is easy enough to do. So yeah, great. My problem is where do we get the software? So I believe we get the software right here from this. Justin Morgan. Hi, Justin. Operating software. And here is the operating software for all of the things. Cool. We can get the EEPROM data extract for the EEPROMs, PALs, and PROMs of the Trackstar cards, and the Quadlink are also available. That is cool, which we will need that. Hopefully, if the PALs have been properly dumped, we don't really need to do anything weird and magic to reverse engineer this. We just program PALs, shove it in there, and see if it works. If these PALs have not been properly dumped, then we will have to do things to get those PALs reverse engineered, which is a whole other process. So let's get this physically installed in this machine and then do things and stuff. I guess we'll do things. Side cam's probably the best camera to do this. We're gonna get all this stuff all the way. We're gonna very carefully put the Trackstar over here. This goes here, that goes there. Hello, Frankie. Do I have slots? I have lots of slots. Frankie has tons of space. Tons. Literal crap tons of space. So Frankie goes here like this. Okay. It's a long boy, but it fits in here. It fits in the chassis-doodle. Go ahead and get it in there. Right there. So we'll go back to bench cam, and we have it installed in this 8-bit port right here. No problem. I'm not going to worry about screwing it in. We're just booting it up to test it to see what's involved. Sorcerer Stan is here. Justin and Frank and all the people. Hi, all the people. Hi, all the people. Thanks for stopping by my weird live stream. Bench. Yes. So now we boot it up. Okay. I shouldn't need this floppy disk or any of this other nonsense. But we do have to get the software over to the box. So we need to figure out a process to do that. So we do need to install this thing in order to test it. I forgot to do that. So let's do that real quick. And I'm just gonna route it out the back here, because that's easy enough to do. So we're gonna do this. This will go through here like that. And then this goes on here. Then we got to install it again because I forgot a step. Because, hi, my name is Joe, and I have ADHD. Go in socket. That's not the right one to put that through, because then it will be in the way. It needs to go up one. It needs to go here instead. There we go. Well, this goes in here. Are you in the socket? Yes, it is fully seated. Cool. So that's in there. And then this thing goes into the video plug right here. And then the video will pass through here. So we'll do that a real quick like. AD4K, ACDC. Hi, Bob! Bob Darlington in the chat. Unwind all the things. Oh, it's a tangled mess. It's a tangled mess. My name is Joe, and I made a mess. Oop, there we go. Best mouse on planet Earth right there. Ever. A Trackstar. Awesome. Yes, Garth. A diamond Trackstar, baby. There we go. That's in there. My ID card is not screwed into place, and that's bothering me. So I'm going to fix it real quick. Stand by. Oh, I need a screw. That is, oh gosh, which one do I want? That one works. There we go. That won't whip it up. That's better. Hey, look. Joe's back. Get it? Get the joke? Do you get the joke? Do you like my joke? Is it funny? No? Okay. Cool beans. It's Joe's Computer Museum time. Hello, Gut Bomb. Thank you for stopping by. The card is in place. The pass-through is all in place. That's good. So now we got to hook up all the computer doodles. So we need my keyboard. And I also have to figure out how to put the software to this machine. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I have a theory about how I'm going to do it, but I don't know if that theory will work or not. I think it will. Because this card here, this flash card is really small, so I don't have to use any like funky drive geometry stuff on it to get it to work. I think I can take this card out, put it directly into my PC, and just do it. So I have all the coolest stuff, including cough drops. You want one? Delicious. Okay, so that's all plugged in. Now I need power, which is right here. If you didn't see, you see if my little trick. I have all my cables here with a loop tied on them, and they're zip tied together. This does two things. One, it keeps it from going through the hole in my bench, and two, I can hang them up here on my bench cam stand, so they're up and out of the way. Because when your shop is as small as my shop is, you need to maximize space usage or efficiency and space usage as best as you possibly can. Cool. So let's turn it on and see if it blows up. Well, machine didn't catch fire. That's good. I'm getting no video. And that's because I didn't plug my video in because I'm an idiot. Stand by. Oh my gosh, my cables are a tangled mess. Tangled mess. Tangled mess. It's a tangled mess. Look, floppy drive controller failure. That's probably because I don't have the floppy drive plugged in. Don't care. Continue. Machine is locked up for some reason. I don't know why. Edison's chair-leaning legs. Whatever that means. I'm not used to streams without 8 people yelling top of each other and one being drunk and louder. Let's reboot this because I think it's grumpy. Yeah, it's grumpy. I have to go here and turn this off. Yep. It's this. Yep. 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 And just for folks, I do have working batteries in this to keep the settings, so that's a thing. Starting MS-DOS, yay! I think this is DOS 622. The color scheme of this BIOS reminds me of the Spectragen, yes. Where's the JCM computer? It is in storage for the time being. I'm looking at past chats. Joe, did you see the LTT review of the new Unify Enterprise Cloud Key? Only $5,000. Big old fat nope. Not doing that. Cool. Trident card. Of course. Yes, except this is a good Trident card. This is a nice 16-bit Trident card. Okay, so I need to do things with this. What do I need to do? I've confirmed them in the machine works. So now I need to get the software onto it. So that was a short little whoop-de-doo. So we're going to go to side. What we do is we take this card out and we put it in my PC over here and put software on it. So that's what we do. Face cam, and hopefully it doesn't destroy the installation on the device. I'm about to find out. Nope. There we go. Here is need to do a thing. My ears were burning. Yes, Justin. So we need to go to right screen because we need to go get this Trackstar Plus utility program, I think, is what we need. This is the software we need. Sure. Hey, look at all the stuff I've been downloading lately. And then we go to the folder and we cut that. Nope, it's zipped. We're going to want to copy this into a folder here called, what's this folder called? It's going to be TRAKS. How about TRAKSTAR? That should be the right number of digits to not screw with DOS. And then we paste this there. Cool. Awesome sauce. And then we eject the doodle. That. Cool. Now we go over here and we put this thing back in here. In theory, it will work. And I can just launch the application. You also have to, get the card in there correctly. There we go. Boop. Cool. Let's see what happens. Hey, look. It's time for Joe to take his meds. Stop. Big cam. There we go. So, DOS is booted. Stand by. I have to take my murdercursions. Trackstar. Lol. Yes. It's got to be the right number of characters. Sorcerer Stan knows what's up. He's moving to theory because everything works there. Yes. So, look. CD, TRAKSTR. CD, TRAKSTAR. Yep. And then we do star. Cool. Boot from drive A. Boot from the external Apple drive. I have no idea what any of this means. We're just going to press this and see what happens. I want to see what happens. Remember, the help function is invoked by pressing F1, then escape. Sure. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how it functions. But hey, it's booting it's booting. I guess it's showing stuff on Screen-a-Doodles. Mac Effects 9.99 super sticker. Woo! Thank you, Mac Effects. I had to reboot because I pressed the print screen button on the keyboard, and it started going beep, and it wouldn't shut up. So yeah. So we go to CD TRAKSTR. What is TSUTILIT? What does that do? Cool. We can mess with it. Let's do system configuration. Configure the disk drives. Sure. 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 That's fine. Cool. I don't know what any of this does. Function key programming. Sure. Apparently you can like press the function keys and it does stuff, I guess. That's awesome. I have read none of the documentation, so as you can see, all I do is just like go. I like put the stuff in the machine and go. Great. That's awesome. That doesn't do us anything. What does netmod do? Okay. It allows you to like do things, I guess. Switching between Trackstar and MS-DOS. Alt escape. And external Apple Drive option. Cool. Okay. FileTurn.app, whatever that's supposed to mean. Where's the any key? So in theory, let's like we can plug a floppy drive into this and it'll do the thing. So it's got a 20-pin external connector, so let's just use that. Let me grab a floppy drive. If you hear a large crash, it's because I fell over. Don't be alarmed. I am probably okay. Maybe. I am off in the bowels of the shop. Stand by. I'm looking for stuff. I would need to fetch this drive here. Not those. Those are not connected. This is come to be my little spaghetti. Do it, love it, want it, flush it, flaunt it. Trying to do things without dropping things. Stand by. I like the live stream where Joe disappeared off camera for a long time. Heavy stuff in a pile in the corner. Yay! Cool. It's like Steve's shop, except mine's organized and I actually know where my stuff is. Love you, Steve. Don't die on the stepladder. Mind the basement trolls. The PC will like it too. Are we even soldering side? Yes, we are, Christian. We are doing that very, very much so. It is a thing that we are doing. So I'm going to go back to bench cam, side cam, because we're going to plug this into that. So we're going to turn the machine off and do it. I could probably hot plug it, but I'm not going to risk it. Cool. So we're going to do that. We're going to turn it back on. Cool. Go to there. Now I need something to boot. Stand by. I need to grab a disk that we can boot. Boot-a-doodles. Boot-a-doodles. Beetle bit bop boop bop boodle doodles. Sure. I'm going to boot the absolutely craziest thing you could possibly even imagine to boot on this. And I'm not going to tell you what it is until you see it. CD, Trackstar, yeah, and then it's going to be star. Sure, boot from floppy, boot from the external Apple. 1, go. Enter. It's booting from the external floppy drive. Look, Apple II desktop, everybody. Question is, does it do anything with the mouse? Probably not. And it freezes the machine? Okay. It's stuck. It goes stuck. It goes stuck. Software startup introduction tips. It's like doing stuff or something. It's hard to, like, the floppy drive is randomly like running. Every once in a while that's spinning up and doing a thing. Okay. I am looking to read the manual so that I know how it's supposed to function, so I can do like a open Apple reset type of thing. Stand by. Yep. Sure. Great. Installing the software. Yep. Fine. Don't care about all that. Booting the Trackstar system. Open Apple and close Apple. F9 is open Apple. And well, what's reset? Hey, look. Cool. Reset the Trackstar. I can do that. Reboot the disk. Okay, look at that. Sweet. So we'll just do B. I wish someone would clone this board. Woot. It's a woot. Thank you, MacFX. Maybe somebody right here, somebody sitting right here, is going to do that. Go back to VidCam. See, this just kind of freezes here, so that's interesting. Stand by. I'm trying to figure out how to do a control reset so I can get to like to a DOS menu just to learn how to do it. Stand by. F9 for OpenApple. Hey, look, it loaded eventually. It has no mouse capabilities, but that's a thing. The reset function is available from the Trackstar help menu only. So it's escape F1 escape, actually. And then it would just be reset Trackstar. So it'd be R. Cool. Let's do a full reboot. B. Oh, okay, I did it wrong. What was it? Reboot. R. And it gets stuck. Good. Okay, so at least we know that that is a thing that works. That is a working function. It doesn't support the whatever you want to call it, the mouse, but I wouldn't expect it to necessarily. I would have to read the documentation on that. Let's find a different disk to boot. That is just like regular old ProDOS. Stand by while I hunt. This should be plain old ProDOS. Okay, and we do F1 escape, F1 escape, escape F1, F1 escape. It's now stuck and isn't doing a thing. That is because the PC has locked up because the machine is this machine, although being reliable, is also unreliable. Yeah, the whole machine has frozen. Yep, Control-Alt-Delete is not resetting. Hey, look, this isn't the best PC to test this with. Is there 48 or 64K on there? Gutbomb asks. 128. Oh, I just power cycled this thing and it is not turning on. Nice. Check, make sure we don't have any overheating or weirdness going on. Nope. This machine, again, is not the most reliable or stable box. There we go. There we go. Why the short notice on your stream announcement, Joe? I decided randomly to just stream. I was thinking about it earlier tonight, and I figured I would come down around 7 and announce it. But then Steve was like, I'm going to stream at 7. So I'm like, I'm streaming at 7. I'm doing it. We're doing it now. STAR and then star. Boot from external Apple floppy. 1, go. Enter. And this floppy disk is bad or not formatted. Nice. Great. So I have a different idea. Stand by. Let's use a floppy EMU, shall we? I only found out because Frederick told me, or I would have missed it. I'm sorry. Yeah, like, yeah. My apologies. My apologies. Go to the side, because we're going to switch to a floppy EMU. Which goes right in here like this. Like this. If I can get it in here. You can do it. I'll do anything to not take the card out of the machine. Floppy EMU. Oh. Is this a hardware emulator? Yes. Cool. Awesome sauce. So floppy EMU is doing the thing. So that works. Awesome sauce. So we can do VidCam. Sure. And now it doesn't boot. Is the machine frozen? The machine is frozen. You see, the box is it's a grumpy machine. The actual computer is grumpy is the problem. That's part of the problem. I wonder how an Amiga would behave if he ran that card in conjunction with one of their PC bridge cards. That would be fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Garth, oh no, it's a PC. It's a PC. Yeah, yeah. Hey, look at that. CD, TRAKSTAR, and star. And 1. And go, and go. And it's booting from my silly little floppy device. It is not booting from this silly little floppy device because the PC locked up again. And now it's stuck. You see, we have to have a reliable computer first, right? That's very important. This is an important thing. Anyone know where I can get a Blue SCSI V2? You can go to bluescsi.com, pick one of the vendors, and pick up a Blue SCSI. Processing. So I am bad card. It's probably not the Trackstar. It's probably Frankie being done. So we're going to take the Trackstar out, and I'm going to put it in a different setup. We'll see here. So we'll hope that works. So let's do things. We look for things that make us go. So let's put my floppy disk collection in a safe place away from magnets. We're going to go to side cam. Mm-hmm. Can I pick a vendor with an electrified basement and is also the coolest ever? You can pick that vendor if you like. I don't know what vendor you're talking about, but you can do that. I think he's talking about me. So we'll get the Trackstar out and this thingadoodle out. And our keyboard and mouse. And the power. So we're going to take Frankie and put Frankie away. And then we're going to get something else. So stand by. Hold your horse, Captain. Crazy overpowered 486, anybody? Okay, so we need to isolate this off the bench. And I need my magic device to do that. Why? That is this thingy right here. Isolate it from the bench. Cool. Get this floppy drive over here. This is the hard drive and the whatever that is, a spinny doodle. The spinny doodle. And then I need a power supply, which would be this thing, this ancient piece of garbage. Okay. Black on black, you're on track when plugging in AT power supplies. Because if you put it red on red, it's system dead. It will short it out directly and bad things happen. Black on black, good. Keyboard, how quaint. Like that, sure. That is that. I think I'm actually going to swap this out to that other card because it already has everything installed on it. And I don't have to do it again. This goes here. Boop, like that. Cool. So that's that. That's that. Now we need to plug in power doodles. So we require hard drive, CPU fan, because this is a overdrive processor in this. This was a different experiment for a completely different thing that was actually related to my day job. This machine was anyway. Then we get the Trackstar and we install Le Trackstar. Have to find a port it'll fit in. We'll put it in this back port. It'll go right here. Right here. It might not go there because I don't think it'll want to live there. So this card is going to move. What? Tangled mess. Just go. Do it. Can we put it here? Go there. Yeah, we can put it there. Works for me. All the cables are out of the way because we need all this space up here for this long boy card. Like that. Yay! Or something. So now we need to do the video adapter doodle. I apologize if I'm not responding to chat. I'm just focused on my thing right here. This goes here like this. This goes into this video card like that. Yay! Cool. Did you build the Idea XT mini cards after? No. You're talking about these things. I have them. I haven't built them yet. That'll solve booting problems with this machine, which is why I got those, but that's another thing. Joe, do you have an AT286 Mobo? I need to test 4 math coprocessors. No, unfortunately, I do not have such a thing. Okay, so this is black on black. Cards are all in. Everything's attached. Cool. So we should be able to get some things plugged in. I shouldn't need the mouse. Video. I need to plug the video in. Where is my video thing? Here's the video. Video goes here. Sure. Yep. Power wheels. So the power to this guy is right here. That's my main power switch for this power supply. So is all this cabling mess giving anybody agita? Is anybody like freaking out right here? You freaking out about any of this yet? I've done crazier things, trust me. Power, actual power. Here we go. Make sure this is not on yet. It's not. Cool. In theory, this should work. Okay. Before I do that, I want to get this screen, this screen working so I can see what I'm doing. I need to put it input on PC. Ow! Oh, we got signal. Or we don't have signal. Yep, we do. Sweet. Cool. So here we can go to auto detect hard disk. Yay! It sees it as 61. I guess. We're going to see if that works. Booting! Hey, look, it boots. I went to work today. Good for you, Retro Techie. I worked from home, but yes. I had pretty much the same setup going today, Joe, only with 9,500 bits. Cool. IMEM is testing extended memory. This is going to take a while because there's a lot of it. They forced me to do stuff and be somewhat productive. I'm sorry. There it goes. Cool. So we can go dir. CD, TRA, KSTR. Cool. Star. And 1. Go. Go. Yay! The only problem is this monitor doesn't support whatever that video mode is. I don't know what that video mode is. So that might be a problem for people. That works. Keyboard checker. So this is a program I wrote to test keyboards. Oops. Yep. It works. I mean, what else can you expect? That's good. So we have basic functionality. It boots and it runs things. Joe, why would you need a program like that? That's a good question. I was testing a whole bunch of Franklin keyboards, and I didn't need how can I put it? I didn't need a program that would tell me the key codes because I would assume the keyboard was sending the right key codes. I just needed a program that would make a beep noise every time I pressed a key so I can just run through the keys real quick and make sure all the keys tested okay. If you look very carefully, you can't really see it. On the far left side of this screen right here, you can see like a red dot sitting on top of a box that says Black Heather Ever Tubular or whatever. That's a Franklin keyboard along with like 7 other ones that I acquired recently. And I needed to test them all. So that's what that was for. Get out a CRT. Well, maybe. EGA, maybe. I don't know. Yes. Stand by. Drake, hi. Holy moly. So, yeah, how do we test things? I know how to test things. Stand by. We're going to go to I'm going to go to Apple II floppy disk images, diagnostics, computer inspector. And then we're going to go to PR6 it. Should reboot it automatically. Computer inspector. Where did I find this card? So I found this card because somebody gave it to me to test. Hey, look, computer inspector doesn't work correctly. Nice. The snacks, I don't know what snacks you're talking about. Are you talking about like my random cough drops from when I got home from Kansas Fest with COVID and needed something to soothe my throat? And then now I just kind of randomly eat them. Stand by. I'm reading the documentation. I need an anti-static Nerf hammer. Yep, hit it with a hammer. Machine's not frozen up, so it's not that. You know what was a great movie? Attack of the Clones. Lots of clones in that movie. Love a good clone. Yes! It would be a shame if this Trackstar went for the rest of its life never ever being cloned. I think a lot of people would love to have a clone of this Trackstar. I need to make sure I can test the joystick. And this is not an OCR document, so like I have to read the whole document. Everybody, let's read documentation. Was that a subliminal message? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Features and functions. So I'm going to go all the way to features and functions. I went past it already. Apparently I can hit Alt Escape and switch between the Trackstar and Windows, or the... Yeah, that works. Cool. Oh, okay. I had to like go out of it and back into it to get that. I don't know. That's weird. What kind of machine? Hey, look, it's an Apple IIe. What I wanted, this is what I wanted to run this program so I could do some tests, like test the joystick and see if the joystick works and stuff like that. I don't know where it plugs in here. That's why I'm also reading the documentation to figure out where it plugs in, so we can test that. Hi, 50 Shades of Beige. How do you like the Diamond Trackstar? If you send me the PDF, I'll have Acrobat Professional OCR process it. Well, if you go to this URL right here, you can just download it. This is Brandon Cobb. This is his Diamond Trackstar that we're cloning. And he's the one who sent it to me to clone it. And this is also his website. Go. So now I'm going to Google it. Diamond Trackstar plus joystick. I need to figure out how this joystick port works. Smashes Joe's like button. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button. It helps out a lot. It really does. I think Joe should grow a mullet. So go back to when I was approximately 8 or 9 years old, and I had one. Should I go find the picture of me with a mullet for you? Do you want to see the picture of Joe with a mullet? Do you want to see it? Let me know. Let me know while I'm reading how this stuff works. Connectors for the joysticks are built in. Where? Are there installation instructions? I don't want the user manual. I want the installation instructions. Manual addendum. And here we go. Yep. Cool. Awesome sauce. Mullet. So let me hunt down this picture. Stand by. Let's see if I have it. Ah, found it immediately. Yep, here you go. Business in front, party in the back. 1987. Never had anybody look that good, did they? I really haven't changed much. Pretty much the same old me, just fatter and grayer. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, okay, enough of that. So we found the documentation. right here of how things are supposed to go. Yep. So the Trackstar Plus, it was specifically designed to work in the PS2 Model 30 and PS2 Model 3286, the 25 and 30, whatever. So that's a thing. Can I zoom in a little bit, make it easier for you guys to read? There we go. But it apparently works on a standard PC. That's fine. And so here are here's the connectors. So this is the video input we already saw, and here's the joystick connector. I would just have to kind of like figure out how that works, I guess. So right here is where the disk 2 drive goes for like a floppy EMU or whatever. And if you have a Unidisc, you can plug a Unidisc on the outside. So that's cool. Comes with cables and stuff. So we'll have to reverse engineer how that works to be able to know how that's supposed to function. Cool. All the stuff and things and stuff. Yep. Uh-huh. 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 Yep. Yep. Education and networking. Okay. Sure. Uh-huh. Booting an Apple disk. We already know how to do that. Masters is just extra, just cool stuff. I'm not personally, sucks no add-on cards. Does 80 column work? Yes, it does. Shall we look at it? Column text works just fine. Normal text and graphics. There you go. I just Discorded you a textified version. Thank you, Justin D. Morgan. You are awesome. Now, the colors aren't that great, but it's, you know, it's emulated color. What can you really expect? Not much. Cool. Information. Sure. Great. Yep. Not bad. Orange, yeah. There's just like they picked red. It's CGA. It's kind of like CGA colors, and they just went with the closest thing they could get. Yeah. So the joysticks attach on the card itself, or is there a breakout cable? Yes, there is a breakout cable you're supposed to use. I don't believe I got it in the box with it. Stand by while I get the box. Yes, I did not receive them. I did get another box from the guy, from Brandon. It has some other cool stuff in it that we're going to take a look at and make sure we're not showing his address on camera here. These are boxes that hold things. This is... Oh, yes, other things he meant to send me. Hey, look, it's an empty box. This is another really cool thing. This is another insanely cool thing. I'll get back to that. Parts. Parts in the box. Stand by. Looking for the parts in the box. Aha. Trackstar Plus joystick cable. Cool beans. And then other really cool stuff that's in this box that I don't want to show you yet. Maybe we'll show it here at the end of the stream. Now, only if I had a PC card with ISA slots for me to run it, for my 2E to run a Trackstar. Yes, the target market for this was very, very narrow. But some people, as is evidenced by the 2E thingy. Oh gosh, I don't even remember the name of it. The Titan set for the Apple III that makes the Apple III and Apple II. Some people just like to have weird stuff, and I'm there for them. I am there for them and their weird stuff. So this is just cable. I should be able to hot plug this. As long as I'm really careful about any metal bits. Here. Have side cam. Watch me generate sparks on a live system. Cool. So now, in theory, we can put a joystick on that and do a joystick test. It requires me to have joystick. Here is a joystick. Am I going to hot plug the joystick? I sure am. I don't think it'll matter. Yep, it should be fine. So we can go to here, and go to escape, and go to escape, and go to joystick paddle test. Sure. Joystick works. Cool. So we can make a PCI version. Yeah, no, that ain't happening. Cool. Nifty. If you say joystick 3 times, you summon Javier. Problem is Javier is right now on vacation in Europe, and I don't think anything is gonna that I say is gonna summon him right now. He's in his world. He's off doing his doodle. No problems there. So cool. So joystick functions. Both the disk drives function. That's great. Now there is a port up here at the top of the card. Maybe we should zoom in on that, and you can see it. There's a port right here. What does it do? What's that port do? But honestly, I'd acquire a suitable PC just to run a cloned Trackstar. Well, then I need to get my crap together, don't I? Let's scroll. I'm looking at the documentation to try to determine what the heck this port does. It's mostly just because I'm curious what the port does. Also, I love this. Can you tell what software they printed that with? Leave your guesses in the comments. What does that do? VGA cable pinout. Cool. Neat. I still have a quad link card here. Ooh, quad link. What does the quad link do? I'm going to read it. Quad link, this, what does it do? What does a quad link do? Oh, it's another Apple clone. Okay, cool. There's an A2 and an ISA card, just like this is. Okay, cool. Neat. That's delicious. Joe likes that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to look at the manual again and see if the manual mentions what this thing is. Installing the hardware, page 2.1. Page 2.1. Installing the hardware, appendix A or B. It's telling you to go to do appendectomies. Here we go. Which is basically just the same thing we already looked at. Cool. Here, you want to see what I'm looking at? See page A5, yeah. It is. It's just a video cable. Okay. So it's that's yeah, okay. I gotcha. All right. It's just it's specifically designed to go with certain things. Where are the serial ports? It doesn't have any. Has no serial ports. No serial ports. So let's go here. I want to do this. X. No. So we can do Alt Escape. Cool. Dir. There is a setup. What's TS Utilit? Yep. TSUTILLIT. This system configuration, configure the printers. Change serial printer. So it does have them. Basically, you pick your ports and it goes out. So it can do it. You just have to read the documentation on how to do that. Gotcha. The quad link uses the IBM floppy drive. Yeah. I think I like the I think I like this better because it's got its own built-in Unidisc drive controller. You can see that by I'm pointing at things you guys can't see. You also still can't see it. It has two 6502s. One is for the Apple II, and the other is for the controller. Yeah, and so the machine uses this uses the computer's serial and parallel ports. So you can change your serial printer, pick the COM port, and all of that stuff. And I assume it maps those drive letter or those not drive letters. I assume that it maps those. Sure. Quit. Alt Escape. There we go. It maps it somehow to like to super serial card ports or something like that. I'm sure Justin is already reading the documentation, and in about 6 seconds is going to tell me exactly how it's supposed to work. Doobie, there's some file transfer, cool stuff. I am reading the documentation very, very quickly. File transfer, doubling your speed. Cool. You can double the speed by pressing Alt-2. If you hold down Alt and tap 2, it goes faster. I don't know if we can see it do that. And then Alt-1 slows it down. So when are the Gerbers being generated? Soon. I am learning how the thing functions and how to test it and use it. Here we go. Your PC has two kinds of connectors: printers, parallel and serial. Parallel printers are addressed in MSS LPT device. Serial printers are addressed in MS-DOS as a COM type device. Please refer to blah, blah, blah. Trackstar uses slot number 1 to control a parallel printer. Trackstar uses slot number 2 for controlling a serial printer. Sure. I mean, that's what it is. Game port. Cool. I wonder if I plug a mouse into the joystick port, do you think it'll detect it as a mouse? Probably not, because I would think it doesn't have the mouse firmware. Telling time, it has a Thunderclock compatible clock in slot 5 that talks to the MS-DOS clock to get the time. That's cool. Sure. Sure. Great. Awesome. Why not? Why not? Cool. All right. Well, I think we pretty much proven that the thing works. So let's shut it down. Hi, Rudy. How you doing? Do you have space quarks? Probably somewhere. So let's shut it down, and I want to take a look at the board with everybody on the overhead so we can get an idea of what it takes to reverse engineer a board. Why not? Turn the PC off and clear the bench. This is probably a better angle for watching me clear the bench. Super boring, but you know. So we need to unplug power. We need to get the joystick and put the joystick away. It goes up here. Boop. And then we need to get the Trackstar and liberate all its connector doodles as one unit. Whole unit for the Trackstar comes out and goes to the side. Great. Keyboard, sure. Power, sure. We're going to swap our card back here. Like that. Great. Unplug things. Unplug things. Unplug things. Sure. This is now an independent floating unit and can move. Yes. This can go away. Stand by. Okay. Now we can get power supply out of the way. And see, I put my stuff away when I'm done with it. I put it back where it goes. This goes up here. I'm not going to put these all away because they're way across the shop where they live. So I'm just going to kind of put them to the side for now. All cleaned up and good. Neat. So let's take a look at this. Joe, is that a mic stand or a light stand going through the utility desk? This is a mic stand. Yep, it's a mic stand, and it's isolated completely from the desk. So if I shake the desk, it doesn't shake the overhead thing. It should be completely stable. So the camera does not move at all. The desk does, but the camera doesn't. So it keeps it isolated. Cool. Oh, this is where I wanted to be anyway. Cool. So here's the board. And so the important things that we have here for cloning this are the board itself, which we'll need, obviously. We've got this cable, which is required for the video pass-through. So we have that. And we have the joystick portadoodle. So we know what the pins are here compared to what the pins are here and how to port that out and whether we need to create our own cable or whether we can just use an off-the-shelf thing, right? All of these connectors are standard. The only thing that's a little weird is the external DB19 connector here, but I have those in stock, so that's not a problem. That connector's fine, and all of this is standard stuff. So we're looking at this board, and the next thing that we need to know is what are the values of all of these components? What is all this stuff? And is my camera a little crooked? So we have to know what all of these parts and doodles are. So that's pretty easy. Most of these things are pretty standard, straightforward stuff. The resistor packs, you can just fold them back or look at them with a microscope and get the numbers off of them, and that's fine. A lot of these are obvious what they are. Like there's a series of diodes here. The resistors have color codes on them, so you can just document what those color codes are. That's not a problem. It keeps refocusing, yeah, because it's my camera. It's dumb. The chips, the majority of the chips are the same way. You can actually look at the individual chips and just the chip's got numbers on them. You write the numbers down, right? No big deal. And this is all what's called jelly bean logic. It's all basic stuff, right? Nothing complicated. Add in Mockingboard support for the clone. That would be cool. How would I do that? Is that possible? I don't know. So the chips are fine. And basically, you know, the first step is you're going to take down a spreadsheet or a document of every single one of these components, what they are, what their value is, so that you know that. Then finally, what we have are, this machine is littered, absolutely littered with GALs or PAL chips. PALs kind of suck because if you're lucky, you can copy them. If you're unlucky, you can't copy them. So that's an issue. Many of these are just L series PALs, which are called combinatorial PALs, which basically they have a series of inputs and then a series of outputs, right? And they're just straight inputs and outputs. And you can wire up a jig to feed every single potential input into it, read out every single output. And then I also have a tool that I can use that can convert those raw values back into JED files that can be written to new PALs. So even if these aren't directly readable, because a lot of, I need to step back and say, these PAL chips frequently are, they have a security fuse in them, and they frequently blow out the security fuse, right? When they blow out the security fuse, you can't use the built-in read function of the device to read the data back, or the programming out of the PAL chip. And of course, that's just, you know, it's a copy protection feature. So for the standard combinatorial PALs, they're basically like ROMs, if you know how to wire them up. So you can read them out, then convert those ROMs back into a format that can be programmed back into a new PAL, and that's fine. Because all these PALs are socketed, that's easy enough to do. I can pull one out, do the conversion, program a new one, put it in there, and see if it works, right? Easy stuff. These are just ROMs. These are probably like the basic and monitor ROMs. That's not a problem either. The trickiest part with this is there is one PAL on here, and that's one here. This is what's called a registered PAL. Registered PALs are a problem because registered PALs are not, how can I put it? They have internal memory locations that can store states between state switches. So that means that a standard readout procedure won't work on these, because you don't know what the internal state of that register value is, or those little memory locations are. And those memory locations, they can change the function of what this thing is doing. So if this thing doesn't have the ability to read that out, you can have some problems. Chip Tester Pro V2 can read PAL and registered PAL chips. Yes. And that's great. I was just getting to that, Scarlett. Thank you for bringing that up. You kind of stole my thunder there, but that's okay. I blame you. No, and of course, I have a Retro Chip Tester Pro from the Edie and the wonderful people at Backbit. She is awesome, by the way. Go get her stuff, or Joe will be angry at you. I just few days ago upgraded this in anticipation of this. Oh, sorry, you're fine. In anticipation of this, I updated this to the newest firmware. So this should, in theory, I should be able to put this registered PAL in here and it'll just dump it. This is the coolest thing since sliced bread. This is the first thing that I am aware of on Earth that you can simply plug a registered PAL into it, and it's like, okay, here data, I give data now. With the fuse bit even blown, or with the security bit blown. It'll just do it. How? I don't know how Evie did it. I don't know. She's a goddess. She's a goddess, and we must worship her. That's all that I know. So I should have the ability to dump all these. Now, that said, on Brandon's website, on discman.com, he has links to this stuff. Where was it? Is it operating software? Yes. So if you go to his website and go to operating software, data extracted from the EPROMs, PALs, and PROMs of the Trackstar cards and the quad link is also available. So it's possible that he's already dumped it and I don't really need to do anything with it, right? Here's the zip. And if the files are in there, all I need to do then is program those files to a PAL, to new, or their ATF series. They're, I don't know what you call them. They're modern equivalents, of which I have 15 quadrillion of them back there for reasons. But you take that file, and you burn it to a new one. Sometimes you have to run it through a converter called PAL to GAL. I have that software. That's not a big deal. You convert it, and I plug them in here, and see if the thing works. Now, this is why we needed to know if this card works and how it all works and how to connect to the things and test it. Because if I swap all those gals and stuff out and I didn't thoroughly test it, I would assume, yeah, everything's fine, but it didn't work, right? So that's that process there. So let's take a look at these files that were downloaded. That's the Trackstar software. I want the Trackstar, the proms. Great. What is in here? Oh my gosh, it's folders upon folders and folders of stuff. So we're going to extract this entire thing. Stand by. Extract all to a specific location. Stand by. I need to go to development projects. Diamond Trackstar. Do I have the Trackstar in here as a thing? I don't. New folder. Diamond Trackstar. So Trackstar Plus is exactly the thing I'm doing. So we're going to paste. We're going to select that folder. Dump all of the files to that folder. Cool. And now we can show you the folder. Business operations, development projects. Date modified. Trackstar Plus. Here we go. So here, ignore all my folders. Shh. Don't look at that. So we've got PALs. The Trackstar Plus PALs are not on here. Look at this. Yeah. So it's called Trackstar X. Maybe that's Trackstar Plus. I don't know. We can take a look. Let's see. These are U7, U15. Yeah, that's not what these are. These are different PALs in different locations. P22, P23. Yeah, stand by. I'm reading through stuff. Are they 83 plus P22? No, yeah, these are it. Yep, these Trackstar X ones right here are the PALs. The U230 this says U37. That's not what we want. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out one way or another. So those are potentially there, and if those don't work, I have my other processes that we can use to do that. So that's cool. So a lot of the work may have already been done. Here's the EPROMs. Trackstar Plus, 26 and 29. Those are those. Yep, those are there. And we go to proms, Trackstar Plus, and that's going to be these guys. Now these are fun. These are the 74LS 471s. Those are probably like 4-bit, 4-bit or 8-bit, 256 kilobyte or 256 byte proms. I'll have to look that up. I already have a process for doing those. And the 74S287 is probably something very similar too. That's the RGB chip, which is down. RGB plus chip. Yep, that's on there as well. Yep. Yeah, it is $199. It's fully assembled unit. Yes, this thing is awesome. Evie is awesome. I cannot sing her praises enough. So we're going to actually look at these chips and see what they are. So 74LS 471. Data sheet, sure. Yep, it's a 248-bit TTL prom. That's fine. It has pinouts. We're going to look at the pinouts. Sure. 256 by 8. Yep. It's just a small 256-bit byte prom with tri-state outputs and blah, 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 blah. We've got, it's got output enables and all of that. So this we can reverse engineer to a different type of a parallel ROM chip with a, what do you want to call it? With a carrier. To do that, I've done that before on multiple different things. And the other chip here is a 74S287, whatever that is. That's another data sheet. RU128. I didn't want to actually click that, but that's fine. And this is a 256 by 4. Same thing. It just has 4 bits instead of 8 bits. So easy peasy, super easy to create adapters for those. So these chips are kind of hard to get, or nearly impossible to get. The upside though is you can get the cheapest programmable chips off the face of the earth, and just adapt their pins. You just take the other address lines and tie them low. You program the stuff into the first however many memory locations of the chip, and then you tie the output lines to where they need to go, and that's it. I've done it a billion times. It works perfectly fine. Yeah, the 8-Bit Museum Retro Chip Tester. Yes, I have one of those. It's over there. It's way back here in a box, unassembled. I never finished assembling it because yeah, the Rygals and Siglet scopes are also very good. Yes, those are good. What I want to get working is a proper, how do you want to put it? I'm thinking logic analyzer, so I can actually like look at a chip's pins and trigger on certain events, and then have it show me what's showing up on a chip, so I can see when this chip is being accessed at this time during this cycle, what data is it receiving, that kind of thing. So I can do a little bit better reverse engineering. Kibbs with Retro. Hi, Kibbs. How you doing? 17 of you watching. Thank you for watching. I have a Rygal. I'll show you. And of course, I've had this guy for like 6 years now. Shaky cam, super shaky cam. That's my Rygal. I have the venerable DS1054Z with the magical thing that you can do to make it like have all the features. Yeah, so that's a thing. Hi, stare into the abyss. Yeah. So those chips will be easy to dump. The ROMs I'm not worried about. The PROMs I'm not worried about. Or the EPROMs. It's the PALs. So 17 watching, but did everybody smash that like button? Do it. Joe says do the like button. Wow. Should I make the moopsy sound because I can't make the like my software isn't set up right, so I'm going to do moopsy. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Moopsy. So there you go. So that's cool. Cool beans. So now the next step, of course, in reverse engineering this thing is I'm just kind of going through the process. Bench. So we take a full inventory of the card, right? And all the bits and pieces we need very meticulously. We make sure that we can actually reverse engineer these chips. And the process we use that is we dump the chips, we program a replacement chip, put it in there, and see if it still works. If those all work and we have all those processes set down, then, and only then, at that point, we strip this board bare. Strip it completely clean. We take out every single chip very carefully. We take out every single resistor and capacitor and diode and everything. Then we scan the front side of the board, flip it over, scan the back side of the board. And look, Diamond Computer Systems. And then that will tell us where all the traces are and the board outline and all that. And then we can import this into a program like KiCad. KiCad has the ability to do this now. It didn't until version 7, like an update or two into version 7. I typically, for reverse engineering, or I should say cloning, I'm not really reverse engineering it. Reverse engineering would be me like doing a full schematic of it, which I may be doing. I'll talk about that in a second. But reverse engineering is like then taking it and like figuring out what every signal is and what each pin does and like trying to do the thing and that and all that. to be able to make a copy of it without using the exact same parts. This, for example, is a reverse engineer of an Apple II. It's not an Apple II. It's just Apple II compatible, reverse engineered. They figure out all the signals and all the timing to make the thing do the thing. Right? So that's but speaking of reverse engineering or doing a schematic, the upside with this is that once you have all of the traces figured out and actually laid out inside a piece of software, inside KiCad or the software I like to use, I will launch it for you and show you. It's Sprint Layout. This is the program I tend to use to do it because it makes it a little, this is just designed for that. But it doesn't really matter, whatever software you end up using. Then you can actually, you can see which pins of which chips connect to which other chips in a kind of a networked fashion. And you can actually like select individual signal lines here. I'll open this up. So this is one of my designs here. So if I go to test and select this line here, you can see they all light up and it blinkies. And so you can create your own map of what pin connects to what, and then translate all of that back into an actual schematic. Then you can start to analyze the schematic and say, okay, are these chips required? Are these gates required? Did they over design the board and I can concatenate two chips into one chip and save some space? This and that and the other. It also is vital to do that if you're going to do something like a process shrink, right? So to shrink the process on this, to make it use different chips, smaller chips, whatever, I need to have the schematic so that I can convert the schematic back into a brand new board layout that may be laid out completely differently from this, but uses different chips in different locations. Like we could replace these with PLCC 44 pins, little square doodles, right? We can replace these with smaller surface mount ROM chips. We can get a different oscillator that's smaller. We can use surface mount resistors and capacitors and get this board shrunk down to this size. And then also maybe have it just manufactured en masse, pre-manufactured surface mount, so you don't have to have it built. Right? So that's kind of all the different functions and features of that. So that is how that works. So yes, what I hate about KiCad is using the arc tool to generate curves on the edge cut. Horrible. Yeah, that's kind of why I like this program. This is just incredibly easy to use. KiCad, when I first learned to use KiCad 4, it took me, I don't know, a couple of weeks of just messing around with it to get to use it. I had figured out this software with the exception of a couple of small features. I had this software figured out in an afternoon. Yeah. Joe, could you have a floppy EMU built-in type thing? In theory, yes, that would require collaboration with the folks who have who make such things, because I would have to get all of their intellectual property, schematics, all of that, convert it, attach it, do that kind of thing. We could do things that are other than the floppy EMU. We could use like a W drive technology. There's some other technologies that allow you to use disk images or stuff like that aren't this, that we could theoretically just kind of shove in there and like integrate it onto the board. But whatever. It is what it is. Things and stuff. What was I doing? So that's pretty much all there is to this for right now, because the next step is just a lot of me boring work, is me taking out a chip, testing a chip. Does the chip work? I'm not going to bore you with that. It's me talking to myself for like 15 hours straight doing this stuff. So I'm not gonna do that tonight. However, I do want to show some of this other cool stuff that came in this box. So let's show you the cool stuff in the box. Let's take this out of here and put it away. It goes up here. And this goes back in the magic box, just so I don't lose it. It goes in the stack bag. Important. Yeah, my final, I want to get this, when I get this done, I want this to be completely, I'm showing the wrong camera. I want this to be completely surface mount assembled from the factory and done. So with the exception of some of the ROM chips and stuff that have to be socketed or I have to solder on myself, it's going to be all completely surface mount, complete from the factory, ready to go. I just do the through hole stuff, attach a couple things, done, and it's going to greatly reduce the cost for people, especially people who want to do a kit, i.e., assemble the small stuff yourself. You know, it's going to be cheaper for them and easier because then they're not going to have 100 freaking things to plug in here. I don't have to have boxes and boxes and boxes of parts with old chips in them. I don't have to source the chips and do all that. I just give it to assembly house and they're like, make go, make happen, and then they make it happen. So. Okay, I want to show you some of this other cool stuff in this box. Stand by. These are empty boxes that we used for padding. That's more padding. Okay. This is cool. What is this? Is that my... Why did I get a remote? Oh, okay. That's what that is. Never mind. Never mind. My wife is also watching. She has questions about why your basement looks so much organized compared to my retro room. Hey, you know, some people, they've got the clean gene and some don't. I don't know what to tell you. Because Joe put a lot of time and effort into it recently. Yes, this is true. I did clean things out. So I'm going to go back to the bench cam because this is a cool thing. That might have had somebody's address on it. It did not. This is... That's an MSX card. Aha! Free remote, yes. Because there's an open source scan converter in there that goes with this. So this is a, it's a MSX card that was sent to me for the purposes of cloning as well. This one looks like it'll be a lot easier to clone because there's a lot less custom stuff on this. That's like RAM. These chips are custom. That's not. This is a standard Yamaha. I don't know what this is, but we'd have to get back to that chip. Most of this is the 9938. You can still get the Z80 ROM. This is also, I believe, another custom ROM. And then what are these things? I can't really read them. They are 244s. Those are buffers. So this is actually pretty standard stuff. I don't know what this goes in though. I don't remember. This either goes in a PC or an Apple. I'm pretty sure it goes in a PC though because of the way that this is arranged here. But yeah, this turns your PC into an MSX computer. It's a whole MSX computer on a card. Isn't that neat? So yeah, that's what that is. And so, you know, that's going to be in my list of things to copy doodle. Very odd layout of bodge wires there. Weird stuff. What is this chip? I want to see what this chip is. It's some special M60003A Kyocera. It's probably generic. But yeah. The Yamaha chip is pretty standard. We can get that, and the same thing with that. So yeah, it's video and sound. Neat. Free remote. Top half of a VIC-20 case with some YT Friends autographs in it. That's neat. Have that and the Trackstar on the same computer. Yeah. Have the massive, awesome computer. And then the rest of the stuff in this box is just stuff for this card. So that I can actually set it up, test it, use it, and all that stuff. Stand by. Things. Yeah. Flash ROMs and just stuff that goes along with it. That's cool. Other cool things that I got. today, I do want to show off a couple other cool things that I got. Stand by. My Macintosh also, all the original team signatures in the case. Jealous? Haha! Nerd. So where are my toys? Where'd those toys go? I had toys in a box. I got toys today. I got toy box toys. Where'd go? Where occur? Where? Hey there. I got a couple of other cool things in the mail today. I got an actual legit Mouse 2C mouse. I haven't had one of these ever. Manufactured gate array to use in the Philips NMS 8220. It can also be found on the PTC MSX PC card base. Yep, there you go. Whatever that thing is, I don't know what that chip is. Maybe we can clone it. Maybe we can't. I don't know. I don't know what that chip is. Anyway, so yeah, the mouse that I've used with my Apple IIs for the longest time has been this thing. Ooh, getting it. Here we go. Has been that, which is arguably even rarer than this mouse, but it's fully compatible and works in every case. I got it with a Laser 128 about 20 years ago, but now I have an actual Apple IIc mouse that is basically a Mac mouse, but different. Protocol slightly different. Also, thrown in the kit extra were these things, a pair of Apple paddles. Just extra. Just like, here, you can have some paddles. Like, cool, thanks. Don't know if they work. The pins are all there, so that's good. And this is taped on. You can see in there that's kind of taped in place there, which makes me wonder if it's falling off. But that's what we have 3D printers for, right? Yep, it's all there. It's got the little ground clip here. And we're going to check this. We're going to take, yep, that's broken. However, the little plastic bits are in there, so that's good. So at the very least, I could maybe glue it back together. But I could probably 3D print a replacement. So that's broken. And the two little bits are with it. So that's good. Little broken off bits are in there. Cool. It's from a smoker's house. It smells smoky, but you know, it is what it is. So this goes on here like this, and we're going to kind of just tape that back in place again. Cool. So I need this right here. Little piece of tape, put it across it. So I finally have a set of paddles for my Apple II, which are basically the same thing as a joystick. But it's just more useful in games that have paddles. Joe, you can fix anything, even a broken heart. Oh, thank you, Retro Tech. You get a special woot for that. Woot. But yeah, so we got these cool toys. I'll probably end up just sending this to Javier and say, model me new knob, please. Make knob model go. That plastic bag's falling apart. So let's put these away. Cool beanadoodles. So that's basically what's going on in Joe's world. Other things coming up that I want to work on. Of course, we need to let me get my to-do list out. So the Diamond Trackstar, we're going to get that cloned. I acquired a whole bunch of these keyboards for Franklin Ace 2000s. The Franklin Ace 2000 will not operate properly without a keyboard attached. More so than you just can't use the keyboard. It like actually won't boot properly without the keyboard attached. So basically, if you have a Franklin Ace 2000, 2100, or 2200, and you don't have the keyboard, it's effectively a boat anchor. It's just a boat anchor, right? It's completely useless. Somebody on eBay had a lot of 6 or 7 of them, and I picked those up, and I'm going to be distributing those back out to the community effectively at cost to those who need a keyboard for the Franklin Ace. I've already reached out to a couple different people who I got those in their hands, and after that's done, I'm going to have like 4 or 5 left. So then I'm going to go on Tinker Different and the Apple II enthusiast boards and stuff like that, and just basically for the literal raw cost of the board plus shipping to their location, get those out to them so that we can get that cost divided out amongst everybody. Retro Techie, can I get a wow? I mean, I can press the button, but it's not going to make the sound because my microphone setup is broken right now. Because I was messing around with some audio recording stuff for Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Other thing, yes, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. On his special 12-hour Halloween stream, his spooky Halloween stream, he's going to have some intro music that I wrote for him for his stream, and that's why my audio setup is all wacky right now, because I was messing around with that to make that work. No thing-a-move. I mean, I can press. Well, no, actually, I have that still programmed in here. I can do that this way. That one still works. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of Apple IIc keyboards we still got to fix for Mac Effects. I got a lot of them working, but some of them still need to be gone through. Steve, who I believe is streaming right now, Steve gets it. I need to get his Lime iBook back out to him. I got to get these built up, but this might end up happening sooner, probably next week. Maybe I'll stream that or not, because I'm going to be using one of these for actually one of my day job customers. That's a very interesting thing. I'll tell you about that. Apologies just now if my video went to, what do you want to call it? If it went to potato mode. StreamYard is telling me that my internet sucks right now. So I have this customer. They're an electronics manufacturer right here local to me, actually. They cost too much to build my Blue Scuzzies and stuff, so I don't use them for that. But they do other cool, like, custom controls and like controllers and things and anything like that. But whatever. So what's that ROM board again? Yeah, I need to tell you guys about that. The ROM board, this is the mini ISA ROM. I apologize again if it's potato and you can't see it. It's an XT. It's effectively an XT to IDE board, but it's just the ROM. It's the ROM. It just gets the ROM in memory so that it can patch your old computer, so you can use your old your existing IDE controller on an old 386 or 486 that can't see big drives, and it patches it to see big drives. Basically, it replaces the ROM on that with this, patches it, and it just works. So you go into your IDE controller, your BIOS settings, and you turn off the built-in IDE, and then just use this thing's menu and do it, and it does the thing. So anyway, again, apologies for the potato cam. It's still saying my internet is garbage. I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, so electronics manufacturer, local to me, they have an old computer-controlled wave solder machine from the late 80s that is controlled by a completely integrated built-in 386 PC. It's a PC. It's just a PC. That's all it is. But they want a process for being able to replace the hard drive in it if the hard drive ever fails. And so I'm developing that process using all the old nerd stuff that I know about. That's what that machine I built here on the bench to test the Trackstar. That 486, that was part of that process, to learn all the bits and pieces and have a process in my head for doing that before I actually did it for the client. But I need a way to be able to throw, more modern, compact, larger compact flash drives at that thing to make it work. So that if and when that drive ever fails, they have the pieces that I can tell them, put these pieces in this machine, change these settings, reboot. And it'll just do the thing. In theory. This is all theoretical. I have no idea if it'll work. But worst case scenario, we can just use a smaller compact flash like this that is detectable by the old controller and just shove it directly in there. So processes, but whatever. So that's what that is. other things going on. Yes. Got one of these a month or two ago. The fanboys in the room will know exactly what this is. I'll give you a second. This is an original 128K Macintosh board. Original 128K Macintosh board. You can't see it, but on the other side over there is a Mac Plus. Now, this Mac Plus is the first Mac, technically the first Macintosh I ever owned. I acquired it in 2001. I know my bit rate has gone to hell. I'm aware of that, gut bomb. There's nothing I can do about it. I might be able to do something about it, but it might end the stream, so I don't know. I can try something. Stand by. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Aha. So now I'm going to do a thing. Hang on. Just wait. I want to actually just close this. How's that? Is that better? Is it still potato? Is it potato? Can you hear me? Should be able to hear me. Ah, way better. Great. Yes. It's still kind of potato. I can see myself in the side screen, but it's the internet. It's the internet in my town. It's garbage. Whatever. So we're just gonna kind of move on. So, what was I talking about? Yeah. So Mac Plus, first Mac Plus I ever got, or first Mac I ever got was this Mac Plus. Got it in like 2001 or so. Yep, it went to potato again. It's my internet. My internet's garbage right now. Can't do anything about it. It's this town that I live in is in the middle of nowhere. Ask any of the 5 people who are 4 of which are probably in the stream right now who has visited and got lost like 30 minutes away because there's nothing within 60 minutes of this town in any direction. Anyway, so Mac Plus. This Mac Plus, I found out years later, was originally a 128K Mac that had been converted to a Mac Plus. So the front of it is a Mac 128, and the back, the back and everything, and the logic board is a Mac Plus. The cool thing about that is this Mac is from like the 13th week of March 1984. It is one of the first Mac 128Ks ever made. Super low serial number, right? But it was converted, so it's been ruined. That board is the first, that board right there is the first step in converting that back to an original 128K Mac. And I've got 2 Mac Pluses, one of which is this one right here. That is like pristine and perfect. So I'm not worried about converting it back. The only other thing I need is somebody's broken Mac 128K that got destroyed, or the screen got necked or something like that, so I can get the back shell off of it and put it on this machine, and we'll be good. So that's a thing there. So yeah, stand by. Is my video still potato? Yep, my video is still potato. That's just great. But yeah, Joe's State has a 586. I know, I've seen it, and I have a pic of it. Yes, 586 comes right into my town. So yeah, so there's that. So if there's anybody out there who has an old dead 128K that's destroyed, you're missing your board, you're missing the guts of the machine or anything like that, I want the back shell. I want the back plastic. That's it. That's all I need. I don't want to destroy an existing working 128K. I want a destroyed, broken 128K that with the back plastic, so I can convert that back. So if you're listening and you got one of those, hit me up. I've already asked Adam. Adam doesn't seem to have one, he says. Looking. Sean Fahey sent me like 3 or 4 different cool boards from his absolutely immense collection. If you don't know who Sean Fahey is, he has one of the largest independent Apple II and Apple II peripheral collections in the world. I visited it. It is an Apple II mecca. It is crazy. And he sent me a few boards to repair and or clone. So those will be cool. Those are, you can see them right here on top of the NEC right there. Would you need the back shell or just the label? I need the entire back shell. The back shell, Jeremy, the back shell between the 128K and the Plus are completely different. They have different logos in different places. See, if you look at the Plus here, it doesn't have the Macintosh logo back here. It's just plain. Whereas the 128's got a logo right there. So yeah, I would need the whole back shell. I recently got from John Leake of Retro Maccast, recently, like a couple months ago, I got an Apple Lisa. It's a Lisa 2. It's Lisa 2/5, which is pretty cool. There's that whole SCSI thing on a Plus too. Yeah, I have a way to get SCSI on the Mac 128. I'm not worried about it. Then again, it's also a Mac 128, so I'm like, whatever. It's for completeness sake. What in the holy heck is going on here? Hi, Mike's Mess. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? I'm actually just kind of winding up. I'm just saying what's going on in the Joe world here. After I already did all the stuff. Joe gets all the cool toys, yes. Got the Lisa from John Leake. I fixed his SE30s. If you didn't catch the Retro Maccast two episodes ago, go back and check that out. We talked about that on the podcast. But he gave me some cool stuff, and I did some repairs for him in exchange for that stuff. The problem with the Lisa is that it's battery bombed. The opposite of the problem with the Lisa is that somebody has completely cloned the PCBs, and I have those PCBs now. So I can actually take all the parts and pieces that work, plus getting some new parts and pieces that aren't all corroded and junky, and put all of the original stuff onto these new back planes and put them in the Lisa, and theoretically bring the Lisa back up. Bedtime night, Joe Nerds. Bye, Retro Techie. See ya. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you stopping by, Retro Techie. I have to review comments from Mike's Mess more than anyone else. Yes, that tracks. That absolutely tracks. Yes. I have a later 128 system that's been upgraded to all the heck with a MaxSnap SCSI RAM boards. Yes, and that's the thing too. I kind of want my 128 to be original, so I can run like, what is it? System 4 is the absolute max it'll run, or something like that. I don't know. So the Lisa rebuild is going to be cool, because then I have to take a whole Lisa apart and rebuild it. I have to take the power supply apart and recap it and do all of this craziness just to do the thing. Are those cloned Lisa boards open source? Why, yes, they are. And that's where I got them from. Yes, Mike Sauciness. Varda destroyed the PCB. Yes, it destroyed 2 PCBs. It destroyed the bottom backplane with all the ports on it, and then the back riser board, where the cop chip is. Hopefully the cop chip is okay. That's the one that's hard. You've got to like get a third party, like a different cop, and like rerun some wires with a carrier. I don't know. The cop chip is weird. But yeah, those clone Lisa boards are open source. Lisa clone PCB. Let me see if I can find it. Boop. Here they are. Here is the GitHub page. So if we go here and go to right screen, Alex the Cat 123 is the one who did the work. And they have cloned like all the 2.5 IO boards and motherboard schematics and all of that cool stuff. So if you've got that, you can do that in theory as well. If you cop chip, COP, Garth, have you turned into Trina? Are you my Trina for this stream? Is that what you are? No, the cop chip, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of special processor to do things. Anyway, but so these have all been copied. As a matter of fact, there's a person that I'm following. I think it might be RetroFox is their name, on the Twitters and the Mastodons and all of that stuff. They have built a complete part for part Lisa clone on their bench out of just these parts. They didn't have an original Lisa. They used these, went to the internet, sourced the parts, shoved it in the board, connected it to a Lisa, a tube they got that's like a Lisa compatible Retro Fox. Yes. Yep, exactly. That's exactly who it is. Cop chip, a Retro Fox. And they just built it on the bench. It's like, here's Lisa. No shell, no outside extra anything. So that's cool that this is here because it allows me to fix my battery bomb Lisa. And so that's also the thing. You can kind of think of it as like the SE30 reloaded or the SE reloaded board. It allows you to take these battery bomb things, take the custom chips off of it, put it on a new substrate, and it's done. So that's a cool thing. I want to get to that at some point. What else is going on in Joe's world? Javier sent me a ZX Spectrum 2, or ZX Spectrum 128, ZX 1 something. I don't know. Don't know what it is. That was broken. That needs to be fixed. I'm not quite sure how Javier broke that. Leave your guesses in the comments. Love you, Javier. Ian Oid sent me an RCA. It's down here. It's like an RCA video game console that has some weird, like power over Ethernet style power injection, but it's bad. So I'm trying to reverse engineer. I've had that for 2 years, the poor guy. And so like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it eventually. If you ever want the unit back, just say you want it back. But I'll get to reverse engineering that power thing eventually. I have an Amiga 400 I need to do some work on. I have an SE reloaded board that's not done yet. I have a couple different people who may be wanting to help me with my Apple III RAM board. One is Sloopy, and another is Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. I've got the Naboo. The Naboo, still in its box, that I haven't done anything with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to make an updated version of the Apple II GS SCSI card, using some of the work, hopefully with the permission of the people who did the original work. I'm not just going to clone their stuff and copy it, but I want to make an updated version of the Apple II GS SCSI card that potentially has a integrated blue SCSI. That might be neat. Is it an RCA Studio 2? I think it is, yes. If you need a diagnostic cartridge for the Sveka, you can use mine. If I need that, I will reach out to you. Am I going to use the 5380? Highly likely, because that's the chip everybody used. The NCR 5380 is effectively the gold standard for a SCSI interface, because they invented the SCSI interface effectively. This will be helpful for Rudy. I want to go through the TinyComp instructions and potentially update and build the instructions, or make the instructions a little bit better, or create some instructions for some more machines. But that requires me to get to TinyComp and yank a whole bunch of these computers apart and throw a TinyComp at them and figure out how it works and then write instructions. Yeah. I wanted to build a toolkit for my website for jcm1-1.com, where you could purchase a relatively inexpensive get started toolkit with like a series, like screwdrivers and a magnifier and a basic oscilloscope and a basic multimeter and some stuff like that. I don't know if I ever get to that. So I want to be able to readily access the SD card for the 2GS SCSI card. Yeah. That makes sense. So if anybody's like wondering, what's Joe doing? That's what Joe's doing. I have all of this stuff going on. It's Adam McGee. Hi, Adam. Joe, I want a get started cap collection kit. Yes. Joe, will that kit come with a microscope? No, it probably would not come with a microscope because that would be crazy. That'd be super expensive. But I have it here somewhere. If I can find it. I have this cool thing, which is really good for doing some basic work. It's kind of dirty and manky right now, but it actually does a pretty good job at doing close-up work without needing a microscope. So that's super helpful. Most of how can I put it? most of what you're going to be doing with these old 8-bit computers does not need a full-on scope like this guy. You know, you need something to be able to just kind of see close and do things and get it done. So, you know, and the micro or the magnifying glasses that come with those helping hands things, I don't like them. They're too small. I want you to get a big chunker so you can just kind of put your face in it. And these things are like doing these things here. The classic, you know, glass things, these guys. You're doing this and squinting eyes and trying to see stuff, and you know, you make your eyeball look really big on live stream because you're weird. And but yeah. But I'd want to find some sort of solution to do that. So yeah, the original CRT monitors will all be dead in 1 to 15 years. Yeah, this is a true thing. That's why you need converter doodles to do that. Yeah. Other stuff in my that's my whole to-do list. That's what's going on in my to-do list. Lots of cool things going on. What are these? PAL adapter. Oh, those go with those. Sure, close enough. Yeah. So that's all that's going on. That is a distinguished eye lens. Yeah, I was trying to channel Geek with Social Skills. So yeah, he is not present in the community at the moment for reasons that people inside the community know why. I'm not going to say any specific details, but I am sure that he needs to all be in our minds and thoughts recently because, yeah, I'll just say he had a bad day today. He had a grumpy day today. So, yeah. All that said, I think I'm going to pretty much call it tonight. We're at 2 hours. I don't really have a lot of else to get into tonight other than really digging into this Trackstar and at a really low level, and that's super boring. So it is what it is. Well, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by today and hanging out with me tonight. Adam and Jeremy and Ryan, Chris, Rudy, Sloopy, Scarlett, going through all the people, Garth, Justin, Martin, scrolling, Frank, Mike, thanks Mike for stopping by, Retro Techie who left already, and Jack, and all the others. Thank you all for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. Before you leave, remember, hit the like button. Give me as many likes as you feel like you want to give me. It helps the channel out. It helps make sure that people who like the same kind of content that you watch get shown my content and kind of expands the thing. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support me and my cool stuff, you can go to jcm-1.com, get cool stuff. You can go to Patreon and look for Joe's Computer Museum and, you know, drop $1 in the cup there. And that helps me out too. And yeah, Adam McGee, I hit like twice. Yeah, that sounds like something you would do, Adam. Side eye. So yeah, awesome sauce. Well, thank you all for stopping out tonight, and we will see you all later. Bye, everybody. Bye.